This feels like pure genius from the Toronto Blue Jays, the kind of move that doesn't shout for attention but quietly smiles to itself, knowing it has already won 3 moves ahead. A new report has surfaced about the Jays circling a very familiar face, and while most fans are focusing on the obvious headline, there is something deeper happening beneath the surface, something clever, calculated, and frankly, brilliant. Today on Blue Jays News, we're pulling back the curtain on why this could be one of the smartest strategic plays this front office has made in years, and you'll want to stay right until the end because the wider free agency ripple effects are borderline outrageous. As the hot stove crackles back to life, one name refuses to fade into the winter fog, and that name is Max Scherzer. It's been a while since we've truly spoken about him here, ever since the heartbreak and drama of the World Series exit, but according to John Heyman, the Blue Jays still have genuine interest. That alone should make you sit up straighter. Scherzer, now 41, is not just a pitcher, he's a force of nature wrapped in a competitive snarl, a man who treats every batter as a personal insult. If you're enjoying this breakdown already, make sure to like the video, share it with fellow Jays fans, and subscribe to Blue Jays News because this story is layered. What makes this report so fascinating is not simply that Toronto might bring Scherzer back, but how and why. Scherzer himself has said he wants to keep pitching full-time, yet he's also comfortable waiting, even into mid-season if the right opportunity doesn't emerge. That patience is powerful. It suggests confidence, health, and unfinished business. Yes, his numbers last season were uneven. Yes, the thumb injury lingered like a bad ghost. But when he was right, he still flashed that familiar fire, the kind that can tilt a game purely through intimidation. Here's where the genius truly begins to reveal itself. Bringing back Max Scherzer wouldn't just be about innings, it would be about influence. We all saw it during the postseason, Scherzer leaning in, talking, teaching, dissecting hitters with younger arms like Trey Savage as if he were already wearing a coach's badge. Pitchers with that pedigree and that hunger to pass knowledge along do not grow on trees. In fact, they're rarer than elite velocity. Signing Scherzer becomes less about ERA and more about legacy, culture, and competitive DNA. Imagine him as insurance for the rotation, a safety net if injuries strike, or even a long relief weapon if the season demands flexibility. But imagine him also as a player-coach hybrid, a living textbook walking through the clubhouse every day. For a rotation filled with talent but questions about innings limits and durability, that presence alone is worth its weight in gold. And if you think that kind of mentorship doesn't matter, ask Trey Savage, who openly credited the veterans around him for his growth. This is the sort of quiet advantage that wins championships. While this chess move simmers, the rest of the league has been throwing pieces off the board. Framber Valdez is gone, landing a massive deal with Detroit, and thankfully not in the AL East, though the Tigers pairing him with Tarek Skubal is the stuff of opposing hitters' nightmares. The Blue Jays were involved, but only if the market collapsed, and it didn't. That door is now firmly shut, but Toronto didn't flinch because they were already thinking differently. Then there's the madness of the position player market, where logic briefly took a holiday. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa signing a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Boston Red Sox raised more than a few eyebrows. Jays fans know him well, and while his defense and versatility have value, that price tag feels inflated, especially when you consider Miguel Andujar, coming off a season hitting over .315, somehow landing a cheaper deal. Baseball economics can be baffling, and the Jays will see IKF plenty this year, whether they like it or not. This is why Toronto's restraint matters. Rather than overpaying for marginal upgrades, they're targeting value that multiplies itself. A Scherzer signing isn't just one roster spot filled, it's mentorship, depth, credibility, and edge rolled into one. It's a move that looks subtle on paper and devastating over 162 games. If you've made it this far, do me a favor and subscribe to Blue Jays News, because this is exactly where we live, in the space between headlines and hidden meaning. So now it's over to you. Would you bring Max Scherzer back as a player, a mentor, or both? Do you see the genius in this approach, or would you rather chase something flashier? Drop your thoughts below, because the conversation is just getting started, and one thing is certain, the Blue Jays aren't done.